Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
Opening day is tomorrow. Today's Wednesday. Opening day is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. No more of this fake baseball shit, Carrabis.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's a lot of fake baseball. There's a lot of real baseball, depending on who you ask.
Meaningful baseball, right?
Yeah, I feel like, by the way, shout out to RotoWear. They sent me a meaningful baseball t-shirt, but they sent it to my old apartment, so I got to go pick it up tomorrow when I go to Fenway and then tell them what my new address is, because they said they were nice enough to send me a meaningful baseball t-shirt, which I will be wearing at some point. I want to just run down the line here. And because it let's just say you're listening to this on opening day, maybe you saw it in your Spotify, iTunes, whatever the fuck feed on Wednesday, and you said, you know what, I'm going to save this podcast for Thursday when I wake up to just get in the holiday spirit, the opening day spirit. 2-part question. I think Dallas and I might have discussed this before. I have very sound logic behind this. I can't remember what you said though. Should opening day be a holiday?
Yeah. Next question.
Jayhay?
I think the time-honored tradition of figuring out bullshit excuses to get off of work and or school is something that I would like to keep intact.
That's where I'm at. I fuck other people that don't like baseball getting the day off because of our great game. Like, I think it's if that's part of being a baseball fan, you save up those sick days, you save up those vacation days, and however it shakes out, it's like, yeah, I'm taking off opening day because I love my team. If you have what time is the A's game on West Coast time?
We will be the last game shown on the docket.
Everyone
so
call you know what?
Eyes,
the main event A's. That's what people. There's a lot of people calling them the main event A's. Going on last because that's what the baseball world needs. That's
what they want.
That's what they want.
That's how they drew it up. They literally drew it up that way. They were making the schedule. Like right now, they're already working on the schedule for next season. Mm-hmm. And that's where the brain trust was like, we haven't even seen them play a game yet. We know what the people need.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I just found out yesterday that Cole Irvin's on the Orioles. I didn't know that.
Same.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know that. Joey, do you think that opening day should be a holiday?
Probably not. That probably makes a little sense. Mm-hmm. The whole scheme of things. Maybe World Series Game 7. The Game 7 clause holiday, but that's during nighttime. But, I'm riding with Jay on this one. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Because the argument was better 20 years ago. We could have had, do you expect me to sanely and soundly defend turning opening day, which is clearly our nation's third favorite sport at this point, maybe, into a national? I can't justifiably argue it, but I will. Yeah, NFL,
I feel
basketball.
I feel like baseball and NBA playoff numbers were similar. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like they were similar.
I'm not talking about playoff numbers. I'm talking about just overall attraction to a sport where we're at. We are not second behind the NFL as much as I would love to.
I think the World Baseball Classic thrust us back into first.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I'm willing to accept that as well. I'm willing. A lot of people. I'm more than willing to accept that as well. Because I'm with you guys. I love the idea. For me, I look at it like this: like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, that's unfortunate that you don't enjoy baseball to that extent, but you're the loser for that, not me. Fuck you. This is my national holiday, so it already is mine. I'm not waiting for anyone to determine or decree that it is a national holiday for me. But I understand where you guys are coming from.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue either way, like what sport is more popular, but maybe I'm in a bubble of baseball, but I feel like opening day in baseball is way bigger than opening day in basketball.
Christmas day in basketball is bigger than opening night or whatever the fuck they do.
Yeah, exactly. But so like the opening weekend of the NFL, like it's like opening day, and I think it's this way for a reason, because fans remember whether or not you played baseball when you were 16 or you were done after that first go round when you were 8. You remember having an opening ceremony, an opening day at Little League. And that was really fucking cool because you got to wear the uni for the first time. You got to go to the snack bar. You got to play games if you had a carnival and shit. And if you were on the upper level teams, like you played on opening day, right? So like T-ball teams, you're probably not playing. What we called minor B, which was the pitching machine. Minor A, kids pitch against each other, and then majors. Like this is majors. Only the major teams got to play on opening day, and all the kids in our neighborhood would stay the whole day for all of those games. And I was doing that before I was ever even on a fucking T-ball team on opening day. So for fucking 8 years, I was going to my little league's opening day, and it's a fucking thing. And I think that's why people are still so married to the idea and enthralled with opening day and what it means, because you haven't forgotten how fucking cool it was.
Two quick stories. First one, I'm running out of availability because I've been asked to throw out the first pitch at not one but 2 different Little League opening days this year.
Go do it.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm renting like a Cadillac limo to get out of. I'm gonna go there in a 3-piece suit and just throw an absolute fuzzball to Johnny from down the street, and then just walk off while packing a lip. And then the other story that I just remember because Dallas just saying that, when we went to Kowloon the other night with YP and my buddy Mike that's doing all the work on the house, and we walk in that main entrance there. And there are some kids set up there with, they were doing like a raffle for Saugus High. And they were like, hey, like, do you want to like buy tickets for the raffle? And I walked up to the table and I was like, you guys ever heard of the Saugus Rocket, the legend of the Saugus Rocket? And they were like, no. YP was like, he's like, yeah, man, it's a mythological being. Like you guys wouldn't even understand. Like it's beyond your comprehension. And then, I just was a good guy, donated to the cause for the kids. It's always for the kids. But I am throwing out the first pitch at 2 Little League opening days this year.
Yeah, you need to go do it. I was poised to do so, but we got washed out down here, and this is what you got to do, Jared. And I'll give you my idea, so you can go do this there. Because
okay.
this is how you grow the game. All right.
Yeah.
And this is what these little leagues wanted me to do. And since opening day is already come and gone, I want you to do this now. What do you think they asked me to do for them on opening day?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, were they listeners of the podcast? Like, I don't know if
the
they're
parents are definitely listeners of the podcast.
I mean, like, throw out like a first pitch in a full pirate costume.
They want live ABs.
Oh,
they were like, yo, bring the blitz ball, bring the fucking strike zone, and we want all the smoke.
Oh, so the parents wanted to face you.
No, the parents wanted to send their kids up to just get absolutely demoralized.
Up. See, yes. That's horrible. What a horrible thing to do to your kids.
Yeah, but they're going to
discourage them from ever wanting to play again.
No, like the idea is, former big leaguer, blah, blah, blah. And they understand, like, hey, if you start whizzing these balls in there, they know you're a big leaguer. They're going to just be like, what? And that's the whole point is to show them something that they can't
You're not ready.
As YP said, they can't even comprehend, but they would fucking absolutely love that. So if you find time, again, my idea, giving it to you, but yeah, you do the limo.
Depends on how much the limo is per hour. If I can only get all this in 1 hour, then
no, that's the thing is you get the limo guy to take part in this. Look, you just park the whip right there, right on the fucking baseline. All right. We're going to bounce out, pop up the strike zone. You're the umpire. I'll fucking embarrass a couple of these kids, throw a first pitch out, sign a baby, and we'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. You guys brought up that you were invited to do local Little League first pitch stuff. Cause I also plan on going down to the local Little League field and doing some nobody invited me. They don't know I'm coming, but I think it's going to be great for everybody.
That I wonder if you could get away with that. Like if
Just
if Jayhay just just
waving.
walked out into the middle of the diamond in the middle of the ceremony and just like chucked a baseball. Just like, thank you guys.
Woo! Just fucking sailed one off the backstop while the president's out there talking, addressing the fans. Remember, this is a game, parents. This is Jay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Whose fucking dad is that? Nobody knows that guy. Nobody knows that.
No. Good stuff. That won't be until seems kind of late, but Saturday, April 29th.
That is a late opening day. Late league.
What league?
No, I said late league. The late league.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll have Jake come and film it.
Yeah.
Just make a whole production out of it. I'll do the limo. I swear to God. I think it'd be hilarious.
There's Jared, the opening shot of the video is your fucking size 8.5 stepping right out of the limo. Hitting what? Hitting the dirt, right?
My sneakers
and the door
are bigger than
that. The door flies open. And it's like, boom. I mean, the camera doesn't have to pan too far up because you're full shot.
I'm like
right
5'11", dude.
And
how tall are you? You're like 6 feet even. You're like barely taller than me.
This thing. I can direct this thing.
Come fly out. You won't, pussy. Come direct it.
Yeah, I don't know if Saugus Little League opening day is moving the needle for me.
I mean, it's the the 20th anniversary of the Little League World Series team, which is why I was like, I don't know why you want me there. Like, I was not on that team.
Don't you have like a kid that played on that team?
I was 1 year after them.
Oh, just aged out.
Mm-hmm.
It's so unfortunate.
Yep. That's like
only if you would have found a way to get back.
I know. I didn't think of the signature forging until many years later, but I was basically the Nomar Garcia Parra of that team. I was there, but I wasn't quite there. Tough. Yeah. It is our we're wrapping up the predictions on this podcast, which is more or less what people tune in for. People love the award season predictions that we do here. But before we do that, buying tickets to your favorite events should not be stressful. If you're trying to get A's tickets, let's make this easy, okay? Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over tickets and start getting hyped for the fun that you'll have. Like, for a perfect example, I went out to Oakland and I was very stressed about whether or not I can get tickets to the Coliseum. I was like, how am I going to get seats? How the hell am I going to get a ticket to what they're calling the main event? And this is not just like an Oakland thing. This is a global thing within the game of baseball. How am I going to get these tickets? Well, Game Time came through because it is the place for last minute ticket deals. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. And Game Time guarantee means that you'll get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. That's a pretty great deal. Get images of your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds, 2 taps, and you're set. Tickets are sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email, which is something that I always did not love about buying tickets online experience. And we got a deal for you. You can download the Game Time app right now, create an account, and use the promo code Jared, that is Jared, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem your code Jared for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Enjoy opening day with the Game Time app. Okay. Were there any news and notes that we wanted to hit on before we got to some of these awards?
Yeah, brutal news. Brutal-ish, I guess. But McQuincy, my guy T-Mac, Tristan McKenzie, down starting the season on the injured list with the shoulder. Jayhay, I know that probably doesn't excite you too terribly much. But yeah, just sucks for him because one, I like the kid. He's a hell of a pitcher, and I think he was poised to take another step into becoming a frontline starter.
A Cy Young contender, I would even say.
Yeah, I mean the makeup is there, the stuff is there, the learning curve has been attacked by him. Like
the student of the game is there.
I love everything about. I mean that was one of the first things I remember telling you. Like that was one of the first things that really excited me about him was just talking to him, because initially conversations happen and there's a lot of listening going on, which is great, but at times you also like to have a lot of questions fired at you as well. And that was something that T-Mac was all about, asking questions, wanting to learn. Every time I see the dude in town, whether we're in Cleveland or they're in Oakland, I love talking to the dude. Love talking to him. So yeah, just saw that. That sucked.
What's the timetable? Is it a month?
6 to 8 weeks.
Don't love that. So immediately, like, fair to say, you start the season down 6 to 8. Like, you don't really have a shot at the Cy Young. Like, the Cy Young is like that's the top dog that's been taking the ball every fifth day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're talking. I mean, and whether or not it starts at the beginning of the year, happens at the end, it doesn't matter. You're talking about 2 months worth of work. You know, we're talking lots of innings. So that was the one thing that I don't want to say stuck out, but the one thing that I was thinking about. Like, come on, man, fucking really? Right before the season?
Not great. Joseph, I've been throwing around the take that I got the Atlanta Braves leading the majors in victories this year. How do you feel about that?
It's pretty obvious. Was that supposed to be like a hot take?
No.
I mean, it makes you smart. It doesn't, I mean, when it's like, you know, obviously Jared's smart.
Yeah. You're saying chalk. It's a chalk take?
That's not a chalk take.
It's a chalk take.
That's not a chalk take.
I mean, aren't they slated to win the most games in baseball?
No, the Astros.
Aren't they predicted? The Astros?
Yeah.
I thought it was a dot.
No.
Well, again, I haven't. What were the Astros at? What did we say? Because we looked at Fangraphs the other day, right?
Fangraphs is stupid, dude. Fangraphs.
That's why I'm asking you what you're looking at. What did you look at?
The rocket projections, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't have that website.
The models.
Yeah. We've got
Braves.
We've got
200 wins.
Algorithms. You don't know, Dallas.
Saugus Cybermetrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Carrabis math.
Yeah. What is what's the new video that you're working on, Joe?
It's just gonna cover all the new rules and the implications and how good or bad or whatnot. New rules. Hot button issue in the sport. I don't know if you guys heard.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of new shit going on.
What do you think is going to be the most talked about rule change by the All-Star break?
Oh, by the All-Star break. I would say, I mean, it's got to be the pitch clock. It's just there.
I don't know. I feel like if guys that are seeing a huge boost in their numbers because of the banning of the shift, maybe that's it.
Well, that's there's only going to be I don't want to say a limited number of guys, but there's going to be a smaller group of people that are largely impacted by the shift than I think we realize, or that we think are going to pop up. Like I don't think we're going to see 50 guys whose numbers look completely different than what they did last year because of the shift. I think we might see 5 guys who are impacted on a large scale. And I've said it before, I believe those to all be left-handed hitters. Not exactly sure who they look like right now. I know who did we bring up the other day? Jayhay Seager?
Seager, yeah.
Seager.
You know, so those are the kind of guys that are going to feel the biggest impact of this. I don't know that it's a huge, wide-ranging, like, oh man, high-fiving before the game. Thank God that shift, right? It's fucking June. Things look so much different last year with that motherfucker anchored up the middle. Like, no, it's kind of the same.
I've seen some like mixed opinions on that, how much effect it will have. Some people say it will have like barely any. but I think it's the hardest thing to gauge because all the minor league testing, there's just not as much shifting as in Major League Baseball, which I think last year was like 34% of the plays had a shift on it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the minors, it's way less than that. So it's kind of hard to predict. But I think that's a good point, Jared, because like I think pitch clock, first 2 weeks of the season, it's going to be like the biggest thing.
And they'll get adjusted.
Spring training, like it was in spring training. But after a month, 2 months by All-Star break, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Hopefully.
Well, this is what's going to happen. So as a pitcher, when the shifting and stuff started to occur, you were used to defenders being somewhere visually, a ball off the bat. Before you even snap your head around to follow it, you know where your defense is, right? So you can gauge that ball going to a defender, and you knew what that looked like off the bat. And then you turn around and you're like, oh shit, he's not there because he's shifted somewhere. Like, damn, I wish that guy was there. Fans went through the same thing. Ball gets hit up the middle. You used to be excited about it. Well, the last 20 years, ball up the middle has meant it's going right to a guy who's stationed right there at second base. So the idea of seeing a ball off the bat, hard hit up the middle, used to be a hit, hasn't been the last 10, 15 years. Very well could be more so than it has been. But remember, you can pinch those guys up the middle. So fans are going to have to get used to seeing that ball squeak through before they realize they're never going to put another guy back there. This is getting back to what the game used to look like beforehand. And fans these days, I don't think they remember what that looks like. Because if you've been watching baseball the last 10, 15 years, and that's it, if you're a 15-year-old kid, you have no idea what it's like to station a guy squarely. You don't know what that game of baseball looks like. You don't know. So it'll be
I mean, sorry, but I saw a stat yesterday that said like BABIP for lefties in spring training this year is like 328, which is way more than righties. I don't know if that's sustainable. I doubt it, but like that's a crazy impact. If that happens throughout the season, it's like that's a lot.
Yeah, well, right-handers are the ones that just have to hang with them, right?
Mm-hmm. But the one thing that I like all the new rules. I like all of them. But the shift one is the one that kind of worries me the most long term. Like if that's just gonna like incentivize more power hitting lefties who swing for the fences because they're that much better because without a shift, like it just could be just more 3 true outcomes because those are the players who are doing the best even more than it has been.
What do you mean? You got a power hitting? Like, are you saying a power hitting lefty is going to look at the shift and decide to just continue to try to drop dick?
Yeah, I mean, that's the. Well, I think so. Do you think their approach is going to change that much?
No. So let's use a power hitting lefty as an example. Do you think the approach for Yordan Alvarez is changing?
I doubt it.
Okay, I would agree with you. Do you think the approach of a guy, and I don't know, a guy who's going to hit 10 to 15, you think his approach changes?
No.
Why not? And I'm here to tell you, as somebody who might be in charge of that individual's career, we're going to sit down and have a conversation about that. Because your 10 to 15 don't mean as much if your number is 230, but if your number's 280 and you've got 8 homers, I'd like to think that somewhere along the route here, you've been providing other guys with run scoring opportunities. So what player better suits what we need right now as an organization? That's where the conversations are going to take place. You're trying to now talk a guy into a different approach that he might not be getting paid for. That's going to be a tough conversation to have. So I'm with you. I understand, but I think it just all goes back to the compensation. Until guys get paid for it, you're not going to see the adjustments, but they have to find the value in cutting their approach down before they just make a wholesale commitment to doing so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to like when there was a shift, there was a huge incentive for some of these guys to just like try to hit the ball to the left side, bunt to the left side. And, nobody did it because it's fucking hard and it didn't pay off in the long run. So like, I don't see now that there is no shift, why would they now start trying to cut down on swings? If anything, it's could just incentivize more, makes these pull happy freaking home run hitting strikeout guys even better, which is going to create more of them.
Yeah, I mean, because the idea is you don't want Matt Olson trying to push the ball down the third baseline, right? Yeah. And if you've got Matt Olson trying to push the ball down the third baseline, you've won that at bat is what you're thinking, because the guy can do damage and now he's not. He's just trying to put the ball on the ground. I'll take that all day.
Yeah. But that's just like really the only part of these rules that worries me at all, basically. Other than that, I love every single one of them. And I think coming off the WBC and just a casual fan watching these games, and like the pace is going to be so much better.
Oh yeah, the pace of game is, I mean, that's going to be the conversation. I think after the first month, people are going to look up and realize, like, damn, on the whole, these games have been 20 to 30 minutes shorter.
So,
I mean, sorry, Jared.
Well, on that note of the pace with Dallas, I'm just curious. I don't know how much you can even share, but from the broadcaster standpoint, what have the conversations been like with like your producers or your bosses on how you're going? Like, you can't tell stories anymore. Like, the pace is so much so that you like where are you putting in ads? Like, where are you doing like your ad reads and stuff? Like, what have those conversations been like from a broadcaster standpoint?
Yeah, a lot of that gets done early. So coming back from break, you're going to get an ad. That's how we're coming back from break, is with ads. So as that TV screen pops up, you're listening to me sell you some shit, and then boom, baseball. And I'm probably finishing up, and it happened twice, and this is the first time it's ever happened to me. Probably finishing an ad read while the
someone's hacking,
while the pitch is being thrown. And I'm a very good reader. I'm an eloquent speaker. I can articulate. And for me to get not caught, but there's nowhere for me to go.
Mm-hmm.
I have to either make a decision between finishing the read or laying out for the action. And if it's a first pitch of at bat, the rule is keep talking.
Yeah, that's why you guys forgot how many outs there were the other day.
How about that? How about that? We were up in the booth, and they started running off, and we looked at each other. We're like, is anybody gonna, like, we can't say anything over the air. Like, is anybody gonna say anything? It's fucking 2 outs. Aggie just took the ball and fucking ran off the field. What's going on? Nothing. Fucking full in between inning thing, raking the field, commercial, fucking, and we're back. And we have completely fucked this up. I got to let you know. We took off with 2 outs. You got to play 3 the whole time. So we're going to redo this. Giants are going to come back on the field because they're still hitting. It was wild.
I mean, spring training, like, couldn't both managers just agree, like, let's just call it 3?
Yep. Sure could.
You could if you wanted.
Sure could. And here's the best part about all of this is I had a fucking plane flight, right? 5:05 p.m. So I'm looking for this game to be 3 hours, please, because airport's 6 miles away. I can make it, no problem. And this shit starts to happen. This shit starts to unfold. It's already been a long fucking game, and I'm just watching the clock going, don't you fucking dare bring these son of a bitches back out here to play this fucking third of an inning and then start it all over. We're ready to start a whole nother inning. What are you doing? Sure enough. And I was just fucking sweating. Like, I'm never going to fucking get home now. Because the only flights left were, I was going to have to get on a plane and go to fucking Sacramento. That was going to connect in Vegas and then get home. I was like, fuck this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Before we get into the predictions, listen, there's so much basketball to watch right now. It's crazy. And like a ball with a funky spin, it can be hard to get a handle on it all. Now you can stay on top of the madness with the Xfinity 10G network. With Xfinity 10G, you can power an entire house full of devices with ultra low lag. So you and everyone you know can stream every single game at the same time and never miss a shot. And if you're on the go, Xfinity will be right there with the assist with millions of Wi-Fi hotspots. Introducing the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Learn more at xfinity.com/10G. My buddy Mike that I was just talking about that we went to Kowloon just got kicked out of an Xfinity store yesterday.
For what? Can I ask for what?
So we're putting up the TV wall, and every box works except for one box. So he had to go to like the Xfinity store, and then they were like, "Well, we have to send you a new box." And he's I mean, he cares. I mean, this is why he's so great. He cares more about getting the wall done before opening day than I do, really. Like I can, if I only have 8 TVs instead of 9, it's gonna be okay. But he was like, "What? Opening day is on Thursday." He's like, "We need this box." They're like, "Sir, you're really upset. You need to leave."
Opening day.
You're fucking upsetting me, and I'd love to leave with a fucking TV or a box or whatever.
Yeah.
They drop your name in there. You guys know Jared? You guys know the Saugus Rocket, right?
You guys know this guy?
You guys are on Twitter, maybe a podcast. It's kind of fucking important.
Yeah.
We have 20 TVs.
Yeah. Like, this guy, you're going to tell me that my guy's only going to have 8 TVs up and running by opening day? Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
If you have one TV that doesn't work, what team are you leaving off?
Ooh. Let me look at the opening day slate. This is probably a good thing to do anyway. If I don't know it, I'm sure there's plenty of other people that are like, what the hell? Who's playing on opening day? MLB.com/scores. That's what I always go to. Here we go. So Thursday, March 30th. Braves Nats at 105. Giants Yankees. What a weird opener. Red Sox Orioles at 210. 220, you've got Cubs Brewers. At 310, you have Rays Tigers. 405, you have Rangers Phillies. 410, you have Reds Pirates. Another 410, you have Padres Rockies. At 410, you also have Blue Jays Cardinals. Twins Royals at 410. Mets Marlins at 410. White Sox Astros at 708. A's Angels at 1007. D-backs Dodgers at 1010, and then Guardians Mariners at 1010. Did they just like make this schedule so it's like there's not a single marquee matchup that you're like, fuck, I gotta tune in for that one?
The fuck are you talking about? The big southpaw on the bump for the green and gold, Kyle Muller blowing 94s, 95s on the tit in the town? That doesn't get you excited, Jared? Fuck are you doing,
clown
bud?
question, bro.
Clown question. Showtime is also going to be on the mountain. If Shohei Ohtani's going to be pitching too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Ohtani is just like out of all of this. Ohtani. Actually, you know what? Guardians Mariners Bieber versus Castillo is going to be good. Dylan Cease versus Framber Valdez. Okay, you have my attention.
Yep.
Sandy Alcantara versus Max Scherzer. Yep, I'm in on that. Greinke versus Lopez. All right, that's pretty interesting.
Greinke Scherzer, look out for a punch out parlay, an opening day punch out parlay.
Ooh, over in Texas, Jacob deGrom making his Rangers debut versus Aaron Nola. That's exciting. Corbin Burns versus Marcus Stroman. Okay, I could get into that. Logan Webb versus Garrett Cole.
The web slinger.
Max Fried versus Patrick Corbin. I don't know.
Whew.
Yeah, there's some good pitching matchups.
Well, that is a couple lefties don't get you going. Come on, a couple lefties don't move it for you. Give me the lefties.
Patrick Corbin being an opening day starter is a disgrace.
Wow.
I like Patrick Corbin.
How do you start a guy with a 6 ERA last year as your opening day starter? And the year before it was like 5.5. Terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, the contract didn't age super great. Alek Manoah getting the start against the Cards in St. Louis. Yeah, there's Zach Gallen versus Julio Urias.
Manoah.
Yeah.
Could we be hearing his name a little later?
We'll see. We'll see. Did you look at my notes? Jake, did they post my picks yet?
No, they're not public yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah. DraftKings asked me for my picks yesterday. I was like, we didn't put these out on the podcast yet. Can't be giving away the picks before the pod drops. I'm sure Dallas, I know who Dallas is MVP is going to be.
Shote honey.
Sugoi!
All right.
Like I don't even need to, you don't even need to ask me my pick as long as that guy's playing baseball.
Yeah. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the manager of the year?
Ooh. Manager of the year?
What do we get? We got manager of the year, rookie of the year, Cy Young, and MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go. Let's start with the manager of the year.
All right. Well, I mean, I feel like if they're going to win the division, the manager of the year has got to be Charlie Montoyo.
No.
It's got to happen.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's
got to happen.
And I mean, I did pick them to win the division, but I don't know that that's the guy. Jayhay, you have a thought?
Yeah, I think we need to consider that they fired Charlie Montoyo last year.
He's not the manager?
Of what team? The Toronto Blue Jays? No.
Who's the Blue Jays manager?
John Schneider.
I completely forgot about that too.
Are you serious? Did that happen in the offseason?
No, mid-season.
Fired him in the middle of last year.
Oh my God.
Thank God Jayhay's back. We would have totally not have said anything if Jayhay wasn't here.
Oh no, that's wonderful.
Oh man, it's tough.
Are we sure about that?
Positive.
100%.
Yeah.
I Googled it right before I said anything just to make sure.
So, all right, then.
That's kind of fucked up.
So then the AL manager of the year.
That's kind of fucked up. Oh, you know why?
Phil Nevin. Yeah, why not? Is that anticlimactic for you?
We didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. You cut out.
Oh, for real? Phil Nevin.
That's a good pick.
Phil Nevin, because you got him making the playoffs. No, I'm still going John Schneider.
Still
going John Schneider.
For the first time, he's going John Schneider.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm sticking with it.
That's fine. Jayhay?
Sticking with it.
I mean, this is the most random of all awards. I'll go Scott Service.
Okay.
Because they won't give it to Tito again. It should be. Tito is basically the
every year
Shohei Ohtani of the AL Manager of the Year. You should give it to him every year, but they won't. Voter fatigue. Scott Service.
They just rotate him in, right? Every other year he wins it. They got to give it to somebody else. Can't double up on Tito.
That's the same. This award sucks. It's so dumb. Like, after what happened last year with Buck Showalter winning it, great manager, great guy. I like Buck Showalter. Didn't deserve it.
Wow.
But
and the fact that Charlie Montoyo didn't get any votes last year, that pisses me off too.
That is kind of crazy.
So I'm tempted to just protest the pick and just not pick anyone. But I mean, I picked the Mariners to win the World Series, so I got to go Scott Service. If they win the World Series, then he's the best manager alive. So Scott Service.
I need Baseball Reference to take Charlie Montoyo off of the Blue Jays fucking thing.
He's still there?
Yeah.
No
that's
way.
what fucked me up.
No
Because I
way.
went back to
There's no
look and
way.
confirm. Yes. And I was like, oh, Charlie Montoyo.
The 2023 Toronto Blue Jays Baseball Reference page?
It says, no, when you just click on teams and you click on the Blue Jays, it pulls up and it goes to 2022 statistics. And then it has the managers listed. And I just looked at Charlie Montoyo. I was like, yeah, Charlie. And then I kept it moving.
Another thing that blew my mind, I was watching a spring training game with the Blue Jays, and Mattingly is like their bench
coach. I know.
I was like, what?
Well, I mean, let's be. We understand what happened to Charlie, right?
Yeah.
Old Charlie.
Oh, so I mean,
old Chuck.
Don't want to.
It's a bad look for the Marlins because at least they framed it like it was a mutual agreement. Like Mattingly wants to leave. Is he going to leave the Marlins manager job to be a bench coach? Well, it's a bad look for the Marlins. They are fleeing Miami, baby.
All right. AL Manager of the Year picks are in. The National League Manager of the Year is Bob Melvin. Bomel taking it home.
That's yeah, that was my pick as well.
No, wow, shocker. You would literally skin someone alive if Bob Melvin told you to do it.
If Bomel's taken down the division, see, like he honestly is almost like the fucking Tito in the NL. Like Bomel is one of the only. How many guys have won it 4 times? Manager of the Year, is Tito the only one? Bob Melvin's won it 3 times.
Bobby Cox, has he won it 3 times?
I'm trying to think of who else.
Buck Showalter, Dusty Baker,
Buck, Tony.
I don't think Tony's won it that many times.
No.
Who has won the Manager of the Year the most? Cox, La Russa, and Showalter have won the most awards with 4. Baker, Leland, Pinella, Madden, Melvin, and Terry Francona have won 3 times.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think it's an easy if the Padres dethrone the Dodgers, it's Bomel's award.
Yeah. Remember when you got Bob Guerin fired?
I did not.
Yeah, you did. Guerin. Yeah, you did.
Nothing to do with the departure of Bob.
That's what I wanted to get Josh Donaldson on the podcast for, to confirm that it was in fact you that got Bob Guerin fired on the team plane.
That's not what happened at all.
He told me off the record that that's how it went down.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He was like, man, the players fucking loved Bobby G, but Dallas just wasn't having it. So he didn't even make it to the gate. Dallas like made a speech, something like, all right, we're going to get off the fucking plane. Bob, you stay right the fuck there because you can't even walk past security with us, the green and gold. And then they all got off the plane, and poor Bob Guerin was just sitting there as a fired manager. And it was sad. It was sad.
It's total falsity. Falsity.
No. Joseph? And
Bob Guerin. That's my pick. Okay. Bob Guerin. I think what's going to happen is that St. Louis gets off to a slow start this year. They need a new guy. All right, Marmol is gone, and Bob Guerin is in, and he's going to lead them back. And Bob Guerin is your Manager of the Year for the National League.
Cardinals peel away Bob Guerin from the Dodgers.
Or the freaking Dallas Braden revenge tour.
How do you even know what fucking team he's managing?
It's crazy.
Bob Guerin?
Oh! I thought you said Bob.
Bob Guerin's the fucking bench coach.
Oh yeah. Wait, I thought he said Bob Melvin.
Where is he?
No, he's on the
get
Dodgers.
Through this segment, and Bob Guerin's going to be the second worst pick for Manager of the Year.
Bob Guerin, Dodgers. Yeah. Am I spelling this right? How do you spell Guerin?
Geren.
Bob Guerin. Here he is. Yeah. Guerin managed the Oakland Athletics from 2007 through 2011 until he was fired by Dallas Braden. He played for the Yankees. Okay. I don't know. It doesn't say that he's currently employed somewhere. Oh, he's currently the major league field coordinator for the Dodgers.
It's crazy.
So after Dallas reamed him out and cost him his job in Oakland, he's now a field coordinator.
It's important to have the field coordinated.
You need a field coordinator, but I mean, he was once managing the green and gold. Jayhay, your pick?
I thought I was going to snipe Joey's pick. I'm glad I'm not. I think Snitker's 2018 Manager of the Year award is far enough in the distance where we're going to be ready to reward him again. And I have the Braves winning, as we talked about, the NL East, so I think that'll work out nicely. I'm going Brian Snitker.
Okay.
Good pick. Great pick.
Smart pick. So we have 2 Bob Melvins, 1 Bob Guerin, and 1 Brian Snitker. It's a good pick.
Yeah, Jake, I want to make sure that it's known that I want Charlie Montoyo and Schneider on my selection.
Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, Schneider with the spirit of Montoyo.
Now we go to the American League Rookie of the Year is Triston Casas of the Boston Red Sox. Plus 900 odds on the DraftKings Sportsbook right now. Get in early while you can. He's not even the favorite on his own team. That's Masataka Yoshida to be the Rookie of the Year from the Boston Red Sox. But Triston Casas, AL Rookie of the Year. Dallas?
Oh man. In the AL, huh? Oh, I really like the kid in Baltimore.
Gunnar Henderson?
Mm-hmm. I also
Chalk
like
Braden. Chalk Braden.
I also like another kid in Baltimore, Grayson Rodriguez.
The favorite. I'm kind of tempted to pick the odds-on favorite that everyone else has.
Did you just hear me? Did you just hear me list a pitcher that's not there? Grayson Rodriguez.
Okay.
Grayson Rodriguez is what I said.
Yeah, De La Cruz is probably not going to get called up like anytime soon. So I was tempted.
But where I'm going to hang my hat is on a young lad out in Texas. A young man by the name of Young Money, a.k.a. Josh Young.
Yeah. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Positive. He's got a brother who rakes too.
Is he the first baseman? No? Hello?
What's up?
Is he the first baseman?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Nathaniel Lowe is the first baseman.
No. I'm thinking of their top prospect, the Rangers' top prospect that's a first baseman. Who's that? There's like some dude that's like, he's like he's sick. Jayhay's on.
Who? Not Young.
They have a guy named Evan Carter. He's outfield.
I don't think that's him either. I don't know who the fuck that is. Anyways, not important. Jayhay, your pick.
Young plays third
for the American League Rookie of the Year.
I'm going to go with a guy who looks like once he's fully healthy, he's going to have a crack at the Astros rotation. Hunter Brown, plus 1,300 on DK. He showed he could pitch at the MLB level last season, over 20 and a third innings, 2 earned runs for the Astros. His minor league work plus his major league work last season worked out to a 2.28 ERA and 126 and a third innings. So I think what you have is both the potential for high impact as well as the actual ability to log some innings as well. So I think, 140, 150 innings out of Hunter Brown and the quality I expect, I think that's going to be a strong AL Rookie of the Year candidate.
Joseph?
Oh, well, you gave Dallas shit for being chalk. I'm going to be the most chalk, and that's Masataka Yoshida.
That's not chalk. Gunnar Henderson's chalk.
Really? He's a favorite over Yoshida?
Yeah, I think it's like plus 220 to like plus 350. Something like that.
Well.
Henderson's 265, Yoshida's 500.
500. There you go.
What the hell? We're talking about a guy had a freaking 1,000 OPS last year in the MPB. I guess we don't have Google Translate here in America because I'm doing the math in my head, and I'm projecting him. I mean, he's going to be what? I'm thinking OPS plus 130, 140, pretty much chalked in it for a rookie.
Yeah.
like it's kind of an unfair advantage.
I would agree.
The guy's 29 and has a lot of experience.
Are
just
you
played. Are you
taking Ichiro? Are you taking Ichiro's Rookie of the Year away?
No, I love Ichiro. That's why I'm picking Yoshida, because he's better than Ichiro.
Whoa!
Thank you. A lot better than Ichiro.
Whoa!
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
That's just blasphemous.
Look at Ichiro's career OPS plus. Then get back to me.
What is it like?
You don't have to. It's 107.
I was going to say 117.
Overrated. Yoshida
Shut your mouth, Joseph.
just won the biggest tournament. He just won the biggest tournament ever held. Hit the clutchest home run in the tournament, arguably.
Not arguably.
Twas.
Yeah. I would say Trey Turner's up there. But
yeah,
I mean, but yeah, the guy's a beast. I think the Red Sox they got a lot of shit for making that signing, but right now at least, and what I'm thinking is going to happen, it's going to look like geniuses over there in Boston.
They are
a bunch of Harvard grads.
We got a lot of Yale guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're an Ivy League organization. Theo, a Yale guy as well. Okay, is that everyone in for AL? The National League Rookie of the Year is Kodai Senga, the New York Mets. That's I went the Yoshida route where it's like, all right, we got a guy that's got experience, we got a guy that's gotten some outs against some high level talent before. He's got some innings logged. We'll see how it translates. I think it's easy.
See, I feel like it's an easy out. It's an easy way to go. You're just
like
leaning on maturity. You're leaning on experience.
He's like not even in the top 5 favorites for a National League Rookie of the Year.
Fourth.
You take away Walker and Carroll, and then it's what? Miguel Vargas, and then you land on Senga.
No.
Walker, Carroll, Vargas, Senga, Painter, Tovar. Those are the
There
top.
you go.
All right, 4th. That's not the favorite.
Well, I know. Well, but what I just said, like Jordan
Dallas,
Walker,
you're about to pick fucking Shohei Ohtani for MVP. I don't want to hear it.
Handing him.
I don't want to hear it.
Oh, am I wrong for that? Am I wrong for that?
They're about to name the fucking award after him in like 10 years.
Yeah, as they should.
Yeah. Don't get on me for chalk when I'm going with the 4th fucking favorite. It's crazy time.
First.
What's your pick, Dallas?
I'm going Jordan Walker. I'm going Jordan Walker because I am here for every minute of a fucking youthful adolescent coming up and banging baseballs at the big league level. The kid's fucking 20. He's 20 years old on opening day. Fuck yeah. Absolutely. Okay. I'm all in on this fucking kid.
Sure. Jayhay?
I'm going to stick with the theme that I went with in the AL Rookie of the Year and pick a back end of the rotation guy that I think is going to get a chance and going to stick. This is a value play too. Plus 3,000 for Hayden Wisniewski. Spring numbers: 17 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 22 strikeouts. That follows 33 innings pitched with a 2.18 ERA and 33 strikeouts at the major league level last season. Yeah, his stuff's been playing up. He's been throwing his fastball harder, according to David Adler of MLB.com. So I think there's a lot to like here. Already has a nasty slider. That's my pick. NL Rookie of the Year.
Oh, could I?
Can you piggyback off of me and pick him as well? Yes, you may.
No. I was thinking about Ryan Pepio.
It's kind of a worse version of what I said, but yeah, it's not bad.
Pepio's my honorable mention.
Plus 5,000
for Pepio. Yeah. Get through 5-6 innings of time. That Dodger lineup.
Joseph?
Well, I'm staying in LA and I'm going with Miguel Vargas here. What is that? Is that an obvious pick?
No, I'm waiting for Dallas to get on you for having an even higher favorite. I don't know. I just feel like consistency is important on this podcast. Is all.
No, that makes sense for me for Joey to go with Miguel Vargas there. It makes total sense.
Great player, got all the tools, didn't even swing in spring, still got on base. I mean, the guy is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a cool guy too. If you hear him, you see his vibe. He's got cool hair. He looks like Eric Andre. And that can't hurt. And I think, I think if the Dodgers are going to have him up in the big league club, they're doing it for a reason. I trust the Dodgers. And they always put their players in the best position to succeed, facing the right matchups, right place in the order. Miguel Vargas. I love you.
Okay. I think one of us is going to hit on that. And I like that we all have different answers for a lot of these, except for the Bob Melvin and Bob Guerin love fest that we had. Now, the Cy Young Award. Should we start in the American League? We shall. My pick for the American League Cy Young Award winner is none other than Alek Manoah. It is.
God damn you.
It is Alek Manoah.
That a baby.
Yeah. I'm all in on the Alek Manoah train. Dallas, are you joining me here?
Yep. That's why I said it earlier. I told you we just may be hearing Alek Manoah's name a little later in the program.
Yeah.
And here we are a little later in the program. Mm-hmm. And I am announcing Alek Manoah's name later in the program. Yeah. He is also my Cy Young pick, which is why he's getting old fucking Chucky Montoyo, that manager of the year nod. He's going to go, what are you shaking your fucking head about down there, you fucking hairy nerd?
You nerd.
You're special.
You say Manoah doesn't have the firepower?
No, I'm not laughing about
can't
Manoah
do it
at all. I'm laughing about the manager of the year stuff still.
It's old news. Quit talking shit about
you.
Charlie
Just brought
Montoya.
it up.
Alek Manoah is poised to hit his first 200 inning season, and I feel like he's gonna. I don't want to say blow by that, but I feel like it's gonna be this is who this dude is now. This is who he is, and this is gonna be the first year of a solid run of just workhorse type productivity out of Manoah.
Mm-hmm.
This is when it starts. Yeah, Alek Manoah, absolutely.
Yeah, Alek Manoah. 2 picks already. 2 picks in, 2 for Manoah. Joseph.
I'm going Jacob deGrom.
Okay.
And now I'm looking at the odds, and it says deGrom is like the favorite, which is pissing me off because I picked him thinking it was like not going to be the favorite because he gets hurt all the time. And I'm like, well, if he doesn't get hurt, then he's going to win it easily. So I thought that was going to be like the smart, like, ooh, you didn't think of this. You didn't think to pick.
You didn't think about
the best
health,
pitcher.
did you? You didn't think about picking the best pitcher and him staying healthy, did you?
How about this one? But yeah, he is the odds-on favorite to win. I thought I was going to be like the only guy to think that Jacob deGrom could win the Cy Young.
You might be.
For some reason. I might be. I think he's one of those guys where it is obvious. People are like, it's.
Well, Joey,
come on, we've
like
seen
this.
it before.
If there's a guy who could conceivably win the award only making 10 to 20 starts, it's Jacob deGrom.
Yeah. But I'm saying if he makes 20 starts, then it's not even a question. Like, he's going to have the best numbers if he stays healthy. And that's
is that
bet.
where we're
that's
at, though? Is 20 starts for deGrom him staying healthy?
I don't know. I think 20 starts is enough for him to get it. I think, is it not? I mean, I have to look at his numbers. What's like when was the last time he started 20 games?
I mean, just put it like this. If somebody else makes 10 more starts than he does and they go 6 innings in those starts, that's 60 innings worth of work that we just, we're just going to overlook.
Yeah, I was kind of off base there. Yeah, 20 starts is not enough. Not even close.
Thank you, Joseph.
Way off base on that. But if he makes 25 fucking starts, nobody's beating him. And listen, man.
And my argument for Shohei Ohtani was if the guy makes 20 to 25 starts and puts up those kind of numbers, why can't he be in the Cy Young conversation? So the same can be said for
To Joey's point, though, over DeGrom's last 2 seasons, it adds up to 26 starts, and over that, has 156 and a third innings with a 1.90 ERA and 248 strikeouts. So if he actually did make 25 starts, I think that would be the AL Cy Young.
Yeah.
We're just.
And I've been scouting. I saw his last outing.
But he's got to put those numbers up in the same year. Joe.
No doubt.
We can't combine years, right? He's not going to get the 2023.
I'm just saying the theoretical concept of what Joey's talking about is there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And listen, this is what we didn't think about. This is the first time we've seen him in warm weather. Okay. And he's a warm weather dude. He's a Florida kid. All right. And he's been up in New York, and they've been torturing him, and they've been ruining his career with that organization.
Now he's at the boot barn in Texas.
Now he has an actual good organization with a rich history of pitchers.
Pitchers.
We covered this a couple episodes ago. The Texas Rangers have a great history of having the best pitchers of all time.
When spring training comes around, you just get a parade of Rick Helling and Chan-Ho Park, and it's just all the legends come back.
Exactly. So he's my breakout player of the year, Jacob deGrom. I'm thinking 26 starts and a Cy Young
Chan-Ho
award.
Park was the diarrhea guy, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I remember him as the guy who signed the free agent deal in Texas and was terrible.
Well, I remember him as diarrhea guy. I gotta find that Chan-Ho.
When they asked what was wrong. Oh
yeah,
diarrhea.
He was probably a cold weather dude. That's probably what happened.
No, he's a diarrhea guy. I bet if you search Chan-Ho Park, the first video that comes up is the diarrhea video.
Well, that goes hand in hand, man.
Chan-Ho Park made 68 starts in Texas and had a 5.79 ERA. That's a lot of rope for being that bad.
Here it is.
What?
Let's talk in Chan-Ho Park.
I had a lot of diarrhea.
You know who could be a sneaky pick?
That's what you want to know?
You better not steal my actual pick.
I had a lot of diarrhea. Yeah, I had a diarrhea, and then what? Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, dude, I had no idea. He's like, "Why are you guys laughing?" I'd feel the same way.
Did you pick Jayhay?
No, not yet. Are we there? Are we to me?
Yeah, we're there.
Oh yeah.
All right. If your throat's dried out from all this chalk, let me give you a value play.
Give me the value.
Tied for 13th in odds in the AL.
Framber.
Let me list the guys who have put up in the wild card era 104 seasons of 140 innings pitched, a strikeout percentage of at least 30%, and a whip of 0.95 or lower. The list. Some of these guys have multiple such seasons, but Max Scherzer, Pedro Martinez, Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, Johan Santana, Randy Johnson, Corey Kluber, Chris Sale, deGrom, Garrett Cole, Corbin Burns, McClanahan last season, and my pick, Christian Javier. Plus 1,800.
Ooh.
Threw about 150 innings last year. I think we talked about it last time about how him and Framber are going to be expected to take a little bit more of the load this year. So I think if Javier can get to 170, 175 innings and maintain the quality that he put up last year, I think we're looking at arguably the most valuable pitcher in the AL. So that's my pick. Plus, I think it's great value. Plus 1,800.
Good pick, great value. It's all going to come down to, does he have the innings?
Yep.
I think if...
Well, that's why I argued what I did about Manoah and made that a point, was the 200 inning mark, because to Joey's point about the innings with deGrom, I think there's going to be more guys in that 160 to 185 inning range than there are going to be horses to pick from in the 200 plus category, right? We know.
I mean, that was basically Alcantara's path to the Cy Young last year, right? Was like he threw 20 more innings than most of his competitors, 30 more innings than most of his competitors. So makes sense.
Did you see Hubs' take on Alek Manoah?
I almost went Alek Manoah, but with the new pitch clock stuff and how quick he's going to have to pitch, he's too fat to be good now. I'm sorry. He's going to be too tired. I don't think he makes it through a full season. Alek Manoah is as good of a competitor as it gets. I like the fire he brings. I think he's too fat for the pitch clock. My answer is not a starting pitcher. It's not Garrett Cole. It's not Carlos Rodon. It probably would have been if he was healthy at the moment, but he's not going to start the year healthy. So it's Michael King.
He's got Michael King as I believe that was a conversation for best pitcher in the AL East. He's got Michael King as the best pitcher in the AL East, and Alek Manoah is too fat to be good anymore. He's too fat. He's too fat because of the pitch clock. That's what he said.
I have fun doing the Hosmer stuff, which is all statistical, and it's just like a bit. I can't imagine recording a podcast and saying that a guy is too fat to be good and putting.
And he's not even fat.
No, he's just like a pitcher.
He's husky. He's in shape.
He has enough meat to make it through a 162 game season plus the postseason. That's how it should be described.
Yeah, mass equals gas, baby. That's my Cy Young Award winner. All right. Now,
wait, Jake.
Oh yeah, Jake. Who's the American League Cy Young Award winner?
Chris Sale at plus 8,000.
Thank you. Did you want to weigh in on the American League Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I like Casas.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Chris Sale might be too fat for the pitch clock.
Do you have an American League Manager of the Year pick?
For that, I'm going to go with Alex Cora.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jake.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jake stepping out.
Yeah. Those are good picks.
Red Sox going to have a good year, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Those are all good picks. The National League Cy Young Award winner for 2023 is Spencer Strider of the Atlanta Braves.
It's a great pick.
It's a good pick.
Still fifth and odd.
But he's vegan. You know he's vegan, right? That could be a problem with the pitch clock. Because
he's vegan.
Like if it's tough to keep that dialed in, especially if you're going quickly and shit.
I can't even fucking believe
that. Dallas?
Jayhay, quickly, how many have done it in both leagues? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't, actually.
Because Justin Verlander joins that group.
What?
Wow.
Yep. Justin Verlander joins that group. I was thinking about, what's that?
Oh, I was just going to say it's 6 deep is that list.
6?
Gaylord Perry, Pedro Martinez, Big Unit, Roger Clemens, Roy Halladay, and Scherzer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Justin Verlander. I've been playing into and like leaning into the idea of him wanting to do things. I don't want to say that others haven't done, but he wants to be a part of rarefied air. And he already is. But the opportunities to do so, I think those are the things that motivate a guy like this at this stage in his career. Like levels of greatness, layers of greatness. He's been hearing how great he is and where he will end up for the last 10 years of his career. And we've all known that. So we're not telling him anything that he doesn't know or isn't aware of. But when we talk about why guys get up in the morning to attack the day the way they still do at this age, in this game with everything he's accomplished, what is lighting the fire outside of just being a competitive motherfucker? For me, it's wanting to get to the promised land with a guy that you should have gotten there with a decade ago in Max, and that being a motivating factor. Joining that rare group that I just mentioned, that being the motivating factor. And understanding that if he continues to produce the way he is, based on the injury history that he's had and how he's bounced back, Justin Verlander supplants himself in the conversation for one of the greatest arms the game has ever seen. He's already in that conversation, but These are just the little things that I look at as to what's getting this guy's engine rolling. And I think him going into New York, understanding all of the surrounding storylines, his history, and what that could do, like, yeah, he's coming ready to fucking undress some folks.
One of my buddies from high school just texted me. Give me a lock for 5 teams winning tomorrow. A nice 5-leg parlay. Give me the inside scoop. He's dead serious.
Well, sure. We got the script. Scripts went out at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Can you imagine how difficult a 5-leg parlay is in Major League Baseball on opening day when, like, you have no idea. You have no idea how good a team is going to be, how hot they're going to be, if guys are coming out. What
have I said about baseball being the hardest sport to bet? Why? Because all it takes is some asshole like me to actually show up and make a start that day, and who fucking knows?
Yep.
Who knows? That's why.
Tell him to parlay the Braves just for the first 10 games of the season. So it's going to take a couple weeks, but
there's got to be like some organization that has a weird ass like opening day winning streak. Like the fucking the Milwaukee Brewers have won on opening day the last 10 out of 11 seasons.
I think the homer on opening day is a thing. Like, you have a knack for homering on opening day because you're going up there just saying it's opening day. 1 for 5 doesn't matter to me. I want the one to be a homer. It's going to be a bolt. I'm doing it. And you've done it like 4 years in a row.
Feels like Nick
The
Castellanos.
Mets have the best win percentage all time on opening day. That's one of those weird ones.
Who? The Nats?
No, the Mets. They have a 650. Mets. It's like north of 650 winning percentage.
Tell them to take the Mets. Does everyone have their NL pick in?
No, I haven't got mine in yet. And personally, I'm gonna have to stick with my one of my NL East teams. I'm gonna go Phillies, and I'm gonna go Zach Wheeler.
Oh,
because I mean the guy had a great year last year. He had some injuries, didn't get the innings in, but we saw him in the playoffs. And it's Zach Wheeler. Seems like he's getting better with age. He's only 33. I think he's just like a nice pick of a guy who, why can't he?
He's always kind of hovering around.
He's hovering around. Like one of these years, it's got to happen eventually.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt about Kevin Gausman last year when I made that pick. I was like, he's in the conversation. Why not?
Unlisted,
why not the Gausman?
Quick little check-in on where last year's
Bad
selection, Jose Barrios, falls on this list. And he is plus 20,000 right now. Yeah, not the value pick.
The thing that strikes me is that like Josh Hader is on this like at plus 6,000, which is better than like a lot of starting pitchers.
Yeah. Better than Syndergaard.
If you want to just give your money away, go bet on a closer, Josh Hader, to win the Cy Young.
If you're into just lighting shit on fire for no reason.
Josh Hader getting votes.
Is that all right? So those are our.
Jayhay.
I got 2 names I want to mention. This is my chalkiest pick. I'm going to go Corbin Burns. 2 reasons. A, I think you can make a case he's been the best pitcher in the NL over the last 3 seasons since 2020. He's first in F4, first in ERA, and first in strikeout rate. We also talked about it at some point on this podcast, I think, when we were discussing his arbitration situation. I'm going to give him like a 5% bump as a, kind of fuck you to what he went through there. I think he's going to put up, perhaps his best season. I think maybe he'll never meet the per inning mark that he put up 2 years ago, but I think he could give you more quantity than he gave then and still have outstanding overall numbers. If you're looking for an interesting value play, I would shout out Hunter Green of the Cincinnati Reds, who I meant to bring up when we were talking about the Reds overall. But here's the list of people in the rookies in the wild card era with a strikeout rate of 30% or higher. Him and Strider last season, Kerry Wood in 98, Liriano in 06, Nomo in 95, and Mark Pryor in 2002. That's the whole list. When he came back from his shoulder issue and came back at the start of September, from September on, he threw 23 innings pitched with a 0.78 ERA and a 37-7 strikeout to walk ratio. That's 37 strikeouts in 23 innings. He's plus 4,000. So if you're looking for a little bit of a dart throw, I think that's good value too. But my pick is Corbin Burns.
It's a good pick. He was my my pick for like whatever it was, how it was phrased, like player to change teams.
That would probably only
Corbin
help
Burns.
his case, potentially, too, unless it went to the other league, I guess.
Corbin Burns getting moved.
If he stays in the same league. Assuming the fucking Sox don't swoop in and pick him up, dude. You kidding me?
Not with Chris Sale already.
Support that
already
Chris
in
Sale
town.
run. Yeah.
Chris Sale's not even our opening day starter. We have Corey Kluber, 2-time Cy Young Award winner. You ever heard of him?
I have.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm. All right. The American League Most Valuable Player Award goes to Shohei Ohtani, obviously. I mean, like, I'm not. Come on.
Suck my dick.
Come on. I'm not going to sit here. No. I'm not going to sit here and try and fucking be the smartest guy in the room. It gets.
Why not?
He should have won it last year. He won the year before that. He's going to win again this year.
What was that? He should have won it last year because all I can remember last year is
I was trying to recruit Aaron Judge to Boston, you fucking idiot. Shut up.
How am I going
I wanted Aaron Judge to come to the Red Sox. Now he's in the
That was going to be
in
a
the Bronx.
thing.
He shouldn't have won the MVP.
Close.
All he did was
you want to know how close
the
that was?
seventh best
You were
home run record in
The
baseball.
Red Sox thought about what it would be like to have a player like him.
Yeah,
They realized
seventh
we
most home
fucking
runs of all
trade
time.
his
Let's
ass.
celebrate
That's what
this
we
guy.
let that fucker
So now
walk.
it's
So
he's
we're not
staying in the
signing him
Bronx.
up for fucking
He can go
what?
fuck himself.
For nothing.
Shohei Ohtani's the
Shohei.
MVP.
Two guys who are
me.
agreeing on their pick. A lot of bickering.
I'm also going to go Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, no shit.
That's right.
This one's tough. This one's tough for me.
No, it's not. It's not tough at all. Don't be an idiot.
This one is really because there's a lot of good guys in this league.
There are.
You got Trout. Judgy.
You got Trout.
I mean, you got my guy DeGrom sneaking about. I mean, why not? Hey, who says? What if he pitches 30 games this year? I mean, that would be.
They'll give him the batting title. He'll win everything.
You never know. I mean, you got Brandon Lowe down there, dark horse. Brandon Lowe, anybody?
No.
I'm low on low right now.
And you got Shohei. I think Shohei. I want to pick Shohei, but like obviously he's the best player in the world. But you know, he just got off the World Baseball Classic. He was hitting. He was pitching. He was traveling. The pitch clock. You know, he's slow. He was on one of the bottom of those lists in terms of pace of play last year. And we saw what happened last year. They kind of, you know, we don't want to go down that road. They kind of took it from him. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that again if it's close. And I just think it's like a lot of innings. But yeah, I'm going Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. Great pick.
He's the best player by far.
Yeah.
Is this the year, Jayhay?
I'm going to swoop in and be the smartest guy in the room / idiot.
Is this the year?
No. I'm not picking Ohtani.
No,
I am
not
picking. Wait, for who?
For you.
Oh, for me to win the MVP?
No, who you
thanking
you? Who you picking?
I'm picking Yordan Alvarez. And here's why. So I think, you know, follows, they'll win the division. He's at a plus 1,100, decent value. And I also think there's just an element here where Judge's incredible offensive season, which it absolutely was, and the fact that it was kind of him and Ohtani back and forth, overshadowed the caliber of offensive season that Yordan himself put up. If you go by adjusted OPS, it was the 8th best season in the AL in the wild card era. It's better than anything Manny Ramirez put up. It's better than anything Joey Bats put up in his prime. It's better than every A-Rod season. The only people who have put up a better adjusted OPS than Yordan did last year in the AL are Judge, 2 Jason Giambi seasons, and 1 each from Trout, Miggy, and Mark McGwire. Obviously, when he was with the Athletics.
So just a bunch of guys on steroids and another dude that was hitting fucking bouncy balls.
So that's at points, but yeah, I'm going. Maybe I'll be an idiot, and Ohtani will do what he does. But I'm going to take Alvarez at plus 1100.
Well, I had you going Joe Ram, Jayhay.
No, unfortunately, if Joe Ram hasn't won it yet, he's not going to win it. I think we're just going to look back and be like, hey, he was the 3rd or 4th best player in the AL over most of a decade and just didn't win it. And there have been lots of great players where that's happened.
It sucks because it feels like
one of them actually, but
yeah, it feels like he has definitely played top 5 caliber MVP vote getting baseball for a long time. And
no question. I just think I don't think we're going to see. I mean this in the most complimentary way possible. I think we've already seen Jose Ramirez's best pure offensive performance, and I don't see the Indians winning 95 or 100 games. So I just don't think I don't think there's going to be a narrative push for him, and I don't think there's going to be as strong of a statistical push as you want. But to your point, over the last 6 seasons, he's finished in the top 6 5 times.
That's fucking right there. That's because I was thinking about going that route. Is this
he's a good candidate because he's going to be there. He's going to be getting votes. He's going to be in the top 5. I think somebody will have a more superlative season.
Yeah. That's really it. Is his staying power and his consistency going to be there again, which you'd like to think it will. Yep. But are you going to get one of these outlier type seasons from one of these other guys that has more than enough talent to have that outlier type season?
Yep. 2nd, 6th, and 4th in the last 3 seasons in the vote. So
yeah. Because a guy that I thought about, almost the DeGrom version of the position player, Byron Buxton.
Yeah. If you get 162 of Buxton, it's going to be Buxton. It's going to be Ohtani. And that's, you know what I mean? In terms of value contributed. Because although what's interesting about that is that I wonder how much of that goes away. A lot of it has to actually, because of their plan to DH him so much this year.
Right.
Part of the theory of Byron Buxton's MVP candidacy was if you kept him on the field, you got Gold Glove caliber defense, and you got 30 pops and 20 stolen bases, and the on base percentage is what it is, right? But if he's DHing 50, 75% of the time,
glove goes
that's
away.
A different ball game altogether.
He's a completely different player because a lot of the speed doesn't play on defense because he's not playing defense. The defense doesn't play on defense because he's not playing defense.
Well, a lot of love for Shohei, as it was expected. Now, this is the final award that we're handing out, at least from a player standpoint. The final award that we're handing out, the National League Most Valuable Player Award, goes to Trey Turner.
Attaboy, Jared.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Trey Turner of the Phils, dude. The Philadelphia Phillies, dude. They got Trey Turner, $300 million, dude. Wave that towel, Joe. Trey Turner is taking home the NL MVP this season. Are you also going Trey Turner, Dallas?
Yes. I think I am. I think I am. I wanted to go.
Why the hesitation?
Because I wanted to look. I was torn between Juan Soto, and it pissed me off that Juan Soto, I believe, is he not the odds-on favorite right now?
Yeah.
And that made me mad because I don't know that he just necessarily deserves to be the favorite right away. Mm-hmm. And I was like kind of thinking like, look, maybe line up around him. He's going to settle in. And now this will be the year that he really takes off and goes. Maybe he's the favorite for that reason because other people think that same thing. So I went back to Trey Turner and I just thought about, look, this dude is ready to show why he was in the conversation, to show why he got the payday. He sort of put that on display in the WBC, but now this is where Trey Turner takes the game to the next level. The WBC was like sort of the launching pad for Trey Turner into super duper stardom, like the sexy slide gifts, the great, like we know him, we love him, but now you're going to fall in love with him because of what we're going to see all season long from him getting the fills back to October.
Joseph?
There's so many good, I feel like this is just wide open. I guess MVP's always wide open every year, but I mean, I got to stick with my guy, Ronald Acuna Jr. Just because, man. Tired. He's not. Who'd you pick? Trey Turner is like a way higher favorite, buddy.
I'm going to stick with my guy, Ronald Acuna Jr. I love him. I love me some Ronnie. Love the yellow elbow pad. I love Ronnie.
Oh, and you don't? I got his bobblehead, right?
I like Ronnie.
But I don't know.
I'm a Ronnie.
You know that he's going to steal 40 bases this year?
Hey, look, I wanted him to go
he's going to hit 40 home runs? That's what he's going to do.
I'd love for that to happen.
That is going to happen. I mean, it's going to be 50-50.
That's not going to happen.
Well, yeah, maybe not. But I think if they let him steal, if they don't put they don't want to try to contain him. I know he was hurt last year. He was slow last year with the knee was like sore all year. He had a bad year. If you watched every Braves game, it was obvious, like I did, that he was not playing anywhere close to 100%. So, I mean, still was an all-star. But, I mean, it's Ronald Acuna Jr., guys.
That's true.
He's going to hit 40 bombs. He's going to steal 40 bases. If you do that, do you not get MVP? You probably do.
Yeah, I got Ronnie. If he pops 40-40, Ronnie's the MVP.
So put your money on Ronnie, guys. Dallas said it himself, guys. Bet on Ronald Acuna Jr.
What is
that? That's a hell of a future play. 40-40 for Ronnie.
What's the odds?
His MVP odds are 850.
Okay. Jayhay?
So Joey's getting a little bit of hate from Dallas for being a homer on this pick. I'm going to come in and support and sort of do what we saw from Acuna from his first 4 seasons than what we saw last year. A lot of his underlying stats in terms of batted ball quality and expected statistics were very good. 95th percent in xWOBA, 92nd percent in xSlug, 98th percentile in max exit velocity, 86th in average exit velocity, and 88th percentile in barrel rate. He also, Baseball Savant, some of this stuff's pretty cool. They list the largest gaps between your actual slugging and your expected slugging. And Acuna's gap was the second largest in baseball in the wrong direction. So I think there's every reason to expect that, basically the difference between his season last year and his prime was a lot about the power output. And I think that is coming back. I think Joey's probably right that we're going to see a lot of stolen bases. We saw 26, 29 last year when he wasn't even healthy or running at full capacity. So I'm going Acuna as well. And again, Braves will have the best record in the division, maybe the best record in the league, and that will only help the case. Acuna.
There you go. I also had all those stats ready to go. I knew Jayhay was getting to them.
I appreciate you not poaching my work.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Because it's all in the numbers.
I feel comforted that I finally agreed
with
the
numbers there.
They agreed with me on one of the picks before
Ronnie.
we did the segments. I was on island.
Quality picks.
Yeah. It's good picks.
How hard was it to not go Nolan, Jared?
Very hard. But I respect the rules. You can't go back to back.
Yep.
Them's the rules. If you pick someone, I think if you pick someone and they hit, then you can pick them again.
Yeah,
but if you pick someone and they miss, then you can't pick them again.
And I feel like
we don't know that.
as the only resident
record
member here
podcast.
to accurately predict an award from last season, I should have.
Do we even know that? Every fucking year we do the predictions and
we do know that.
No, we don't know that.
We know that 100%. Yeah, I mean the look on Joey's face.
Who did you
said
pick?
It all.
Who did you pick?
You know exactly who I picked. And Jayhay, if you're
that's weird. I recall picking Judge and Alcantara. Julio.
I was the one who told the world that Paul Goldschmidt was going to win the National League Most Valuable Player.
Did he?
And Paul Goldschmidt won the National League Most Valuable Player award.
He did. That was so forgettable. So it almost doesn't count. And no one had a better season.
He didn't forget it.
No one had a better season anyway.
Nobody had a better season. He had the best.
No, I think Nolan had a better season than him.
No one had a better season.
Jayhay,
because they gave him the MVP award.
Statistically, did Nolan Arenado have a better season than Paul Goldschmidt last year?
It's interesting. Let's pull it up here.
Yeah, check it out.
Well, I know what the award.
Well, the award.
I know where that award
is very interesting, folks.
What is it?
No, the award.
What's it say?
Oh, you're saying the award?
I said I know where the award sits.
Right. Yeah, I want to know who had a better season though.
Well,
the award for the best season was given to him. So
yeah,
that's how that. And I accurately picked that.
It's interesting. If you go by Baseball Reference, it's Arenado 7.9, Goldschmidt 7.8.
Ooh.
And if you go by Fangraphs, it's Goldschmidt 7.1 and Arenado 7.3.
So no matter what, he's still better, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So my pick was Nolan Arenado to win the MVP. So to me, it just kind of sounds like instead of Dallas having a little parade about being correct, the voters were actually wrong and I was right.
Nope, no parade. Just acknowledging that I was correct.
Yeah. But you weren't.
Rights and wrongs.
You weren't.
Rights and wrongs.
Just know that at the end of the day, I was correct. You're holding up like
and Paul Goldschmidt,
the
has
John
the
Heymans of the world is like, see, these guys know what they're talking about. That's what you're doing.
No.
Yeah, you are.
John Heyman voted for Nolan Arenado.
Well, who won Manager of the Year in the American League last year? Does anyone remember?
Terry Francona.
Charlie Montoya.
Okay, never mind. It was a COVID year. It was a COVID year, so I know it was a COVID and a lockout year last year. So I don't really count last year awards, but congrats to Dallas for picking it right.
Yep.
No, he actually didn't.
Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that.
Yeah, isn't that about a bitch where you correctly picked the MVP, but the voters got it wrong?
I don't know what that's like to do because I only picked the right one.
And then of all people,
I'm not happy about the fact
incorrectly
that
select, it's the guy that Dallas picked. Like, what are the odds of that?
You guys made so many of the same predictions. It's so funny.
I know, and I'm not happy about that at all. At all.
I'm just glad I went first, so that no one can say that.
I know, you
Dallas.
bitch.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, every time you would start, I would mouth it so that I was. There's proof. There's video evidence here. Yeah, I was not happy about that.
Hey, you know what? That's called synergy. That's you need that in a podcasting relationship. We're on the same page. Our brains think very much alike. Now we can root together this year a lot.
Oh,
yeah,
super.
Yeah, now we can have a grand old time rooting for Trey Turner, Shohei Ohtani, Alek Manoah.
Oh, the tongue bath that Alek Manoah is going to get every 5 days.
Yeah.
He's going to look like
Let's get him on the podcast.
Oh,
they already said yes. I tweeted out like a month ago or 2 months ago, manifesting Alek Manoah making his Baseball is Dead debut. And immediately his team reached out and was like, how do we make this happen? And I was like, listen, we haven't had any guests, so this is a different process for us.
After like 13 promises next week, guys, we got a guest.
Technically,
there's so many different schedules we're trying to get on. Bing, bing,
bing.
We need 5 people on the same page so we can interview one.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole thing. But all right, those are our picks. We already did like division, like we didn't do our World Series matchup, did we?
Yeah, we did.
We
We did? Okay. Sorry.
but we didn't pick the winner of the matchup.
I can't go that far.
Yeah, we did.
Braves.
But I'll say it's the Blue Jays. Alek Manoah, World Series MVP. I'm excited. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Is that all in the world of baseball?
Pretty much.
There's
Really dialed in on that Kyle Gibson, Corey Kluber showdown.
Listen, you fuck. That's going to be a great game. A lot of people are going to be watching. A lot of excitement surrounding the Baltimore Orioles and Boston Red Sox this season. It's an AL East showdown for the ages.
Jokes aside, Zach Greinke getting the home opener for the Royals. I just love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
In 2023.
That's a must watch.
Yeah, in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 in a row for Granks.
Yeah. 200. He officially threw a changeup harder than his fastball again in spring training.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like his average. Was that not it?
Yeah,
It was like his
average
average.
changeup velocity is harder than his average fastball velocity.
What a beast, dude. The guy was using PitchCom, calling his own pitches and shaking himself off on the mound, bro. God bless Zach Greinke.
Love it.
It's a shame they took the bat out of his hands.
It really is. Truly.
Yeah, it's like taking a sword away from a samurai. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts here today? Wait, Jake, who's the AL MVP?
Glad you asked. I got Rafael Devers.
Oh, okay, great. All right. It's a good pick. He'll definitely be in the conversation.
I see potential.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you asked. Any final thoughts from you, Jake?
Now just getting ready for this huge Sox game tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. The Cluebot.
Oh, he loves that nickname too.
Yeah. 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 When was that? Like the 2016 playoffs? He was like, "Don't call me that."
Stop it.
Like, all right, weirdo. Jayhay, final thoughts? Yeah, please.
I have a final thought. Is the baseball media organism talking about most at the time? I think it's going to be the base sizes and the impact that has had on stolen bases and what that's brought back into the game.
Like the size of the base impacting stolen bases?
Yeah, just the size, like how they've changed, like the orientation, like how it's all set up now, I think is going to be, I think stolen bases are going to be up. And I think there are a lot of people in the baseball media who have been salivating.
Then I have to ask you this question. I'm sorry. Are you in the camp of people who believe that the reduction in distance between bases is great enough to incite organizations to start gambling more and stealing bases? And as opposed to the size of the base. Go ahead.
No, sorry, please. As opposed to what?
The size of the base being more of an injury preventative measure as opposed to inciting movement on the base path.
Yeah, I guess I'm not making a comment on which was the larger like impetus for the change or what teams care about the most. I do think at the end of the day, stolen bases are going to be up. And I think it's going to have I don't think it's going to revolutionize what's going on, but I think it's going to have enough of an impact where people feel the impact in a good way. And I think that will have been long enough.
Yeah, because I've always felt like it's the pitch clock that is inciting the running. And
yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's a combination of all of these things, but I think like I think there's data, and I should have it up, but I think the combination of the pitch clock and the base situation has impacted stolen bases in spring running in the regular season. But I still think there's going to be a net out increase here of stolen bases.
Yeah, because the one.
Yeah, I got the number, and it is spring training, but it's up in spring training a whole steal per game more this spring than last spring, and the success rate is 10% higher. I think that was from like earlier in March, but it's probably about the same.
And
that was the same as it was in 1980, the year that Ricky Henderson stole 100 bases.
And I spent this year, I spent spring training in the dugout, right? I was in minor league camp, and then I would go over to the big league games as well once those started as an instructor, and just listening to the conversations and talking to guys on other teams. And like the whole idea about what Jay just said is like, yeah, we're seeing guys running shit. One, that's not part of their game. They're not going to do it in the regular season. They don't have the green light. So we're seeing guys move now. But my whole thought about the bases was the only aspect of the change in size of the base gives a runner more of a target to hit as opposed to it being closer to them. You know what I mean? Like if I'm sliding to the outfield side of second base, I now have more of the bag that I can aim for if that infielder drops his knee on me. But yeah, I was just asking a question.
On what that can do, and your point that you just said is absolutely huge for sure. But like I know efficiency basically looked it up. I think the last time we were under 70% was like they started capturing that statistic season, but I think it's going to come with an increase too. And I think that's awesome.
Well, I was telling Ricky, I was like, Ricky, you're be getting paid now, bro. You're gonna be able to roll around to all these camps and just drop some knowledge on these guys. Oh, they ain't ready for Ricky. They ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for Ricky. They don't run like Ricky.
Be cool to see him get in touch with Ruiz, though. Speaking of Oakland roots.
Well, hey,
Ruiz. Okay, all right. Love it.
I mean, you don't just have the Man of Steel in your fucking backyard and not invite him over for a barbecue.
I just tweeted a picture of Pablo Sandoval on his Instagram Live, and his cheek and his neck is all one piece. It's just all one piece there.
You are such a such a hate. Oh, you know what?
Look at it.
Oh my God. Pablo.
I wasn't joking. Like
Pablito.
He can grow like facial hair on his neck and just comb it straight down from the top of his cheek.
Oh man.
That's tough.
One thing I do want to acknowledge. My final thought, I guess, would be a tip of the cap to Sergio Romo.
Yes.
Yeah.
A tip of the cap to my man Serge. I've known the dude forever, and just watching him. I said this yesterday on Bay Area radio. Watching him evolve as a player is one thing. When you become friends with a guy and you understand their road and the path in life, you start to appreciate things a little more. And for me, Romo's one of those guys. I appreciate the trials and tribulations, the hurdles he's had to clear in his life to get to where he's at. And so to watch that unfold, I don't know if you guys even watched the game,
I did.
But just to watch it unfold was incredible, because, and him and I have talked about that, like moments like that, he never felt were for him. That wasn't going to happen for him. And then you look up and it's 15 years later in the league, 3 World Series championships, 140 plus fucking saves as a big leaguer. Like, you punched out the greatest right-handed hitter of all time looking with an 87 mile an hour fucking heater central. Like, do you know the size of nuts you have to do that? And to watch it all culminate in a tip of the cap from a crowd who has wrapped their arms around him, an organization who I know the Cardinals get a lot of love for how they treat their players and their historical members of their organization. The San Francisco Giants do just as good, if not a better job of that same stuff out here on the West Coast. And so for them to put this all together where he enters the game, and it was great. And on top of that, the interview after where he's like talking shit about, well, I've never even walked a guy only throwing 2 pitches because the home plate umpire banged him twice for the pitch clock. Like, this guy's just coming in to get a fucking courtesy inning so he can retire a Giant. And the home plate umpire's like, no, bang, that's a ball. Bang, that's a ball.
That's crazy. Like, he came in with the freaking standing ovation. Everyone's cheering for him. Like, that's why he was late.
Right.
Like, he didn't even throw a pitch.
Yeah, didn't even throw a pitch. Ball. But it was,
no, dude, don't tip your cap. Don't take a minute to soak it all in. Throw a fucking pitch. You have 20 seconds, dude.
Yeah.
This is the big leagues, dude.
Yeah, we get it. You're an organizational legend and all that, but we got a fucking game here, Serge. Let's go. But yeah, tip of the cap to the San Francisco Giants and to Sergio Romo on an incredible career, and just an incredible display of appreciation from the organization to a player that meant a lot to him.
Cool. That the thing with the hat was really cool too.
Yeah, he got every kid that asked him for an autograph that day. He got every kid to sign his hat first before he gave them the autograph, and then he wore that hat out on the mound.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Got a baby. Go be a daddy.
All right. Happy opening day to everyone. We will be back. When's our next recording, Jake?
Monday morning.
Monday morning. So enjoy your weekend of baseball. We'll be back Monday morning to recap it all, talk about the all the happenings in Major League Baseball, break it all down with all your favorite baseball people. And we were supposed to have an interview, but I don't know.
Oh, man. Next week. Fingers crossed.
Next week we'll have an interview. All right. See ya.
We out.